Well, hello everybody. It is mid-December, and that means that it is time for PSAT scores to come out. They were released this week. Almost all students should have access to their PSAT scores by today. And so the way to get to your scores is to go to the College Board account. You can also talk to your guidance counselor at school, but the easiest way is simply to log into the College Board with your account ID and password, and you'll be able to see your scores. So once you log in, you'll be able to get to a link where you'll be able to find your scores, which is up here. And so you click on that, and it takes you to your score. That's this one right here is the total index score, and then you have a breakdown of each section. Now, the first thing to understand is that for nearly all students, the PSAT is a test that is simply a practice test. It doesn't have any consequence or any significance whatsoever on your college admissions. It is, again, a practice test. It is very similar to the SAT, but it is simply a practice test. Now, for 11th graders, the score can determine your eligibility for a National Merit Scholarship, which we will talk about in just a minute. Just very simply, we see a summary of the score up here, and we can go and click on the details, and if we do that, then the first thing we see is the report details, and it breaks down each section. So here is the evidence-based reading and writing section. Here we have the math score, and what we can see is that math score versus a benchmark for the grade that you're in, as well as a related grade, the 10th grade here in this case. And we can also see percentiles based on your specific score. So you could scroll down and take a look at that as well, and it gives you some basic information about college readiness, and there's a lot of information in here that the College Board issues and puts out and publishes, but I'm not going to get into all of those details. So we see those different score reports. Then the other thing I want to just point out, you can actually look at the different questions. Here is a skills insight, so we can see based on reading, writing, and math, some instructions on how you can improve your scores in different areas. And then this is important. This is the National Merit Scholarship Corporation Selection Index. So if you are in 11th grade, you're going to want to look at this selection index, and that would be the number that would be used to determine your eligibility for national merit. Now, you won't be able to determine just yet whether or not your score is high enough to qualify for national merit. That information does come out later, and it is state dependent. So, and it is also year to year dependent. So what the merit score or the index score was last year may be different than what the score will be this year, and what it was in your neighboring state is certainly likely to be different than what it is in your state. So it is most definitely state dependent, and it is set annually. So you don't want to go into this too much and make some inferences just yet. You can get an idea based on prior years, but you really don't know exactly what that index score is going to be. Generally speaking, if you're above a 215, then you would qualify for national merit. That is a very, very high score to achieve, and so that's why those kids then get selected into the National Merit Scholarship Program. Another just quick thing I want to point out, the total score, the highest score that one can get is a 1520 on this exam. It is not, that's one difference between this and the SAT. The SAT goes up to 1600, whereas this one goes up to 1520. So that is a summary of the PSAT score report. Again, this is something that does not count for college admissions purposes. It is simply designed to give students an opportunity to practice for the test, and it is the National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. A lot of 9th and 10th graders around the country take this simply for practice. It should be treated as such so that students can then feel more comfortable when they sit and prepare for the SAT. Wish you the best of luck as you go ahead and pursue your standardized test strategy to get the highest score you possibly can and to see success with your college admissions.